Hello, welcome back. I'm really excited to be here, and thank you very much, Value Stream Consortium, for the invitation. Thank you very much, Helen. We are moving into the Identify section, and I come from Deutsche Telekom Europe, where I work as a project and change manager. I lead digital transformation initiatives for the European national companies. We have 8 companies in Europe. We work in a centralized environment where we develop digital products and services which are then distributed into the national companies. I also lead a community of practice called Project Manager as a Profession, which our main goal is to show to our team members what we can do as project managers in a big, let's say, range of what a project manager means, terminology speaking. My first interaction with value streams came 2 years ago with a disciplined Agile value stream consultant, the course I did with Joshua Barnes, and I was the first in Greece to have this certification. Previously, I have worked with the lean methodologies as I was production responsible in the production line responsible in the refurbishment line for the Greek national company to repair customers' equipment. Also, I enjoy talking about my personal perspectives, view of how to do things better, and for that I have written more than 60 business articles around leadership, project management, and soft skills. Especially for soft skills, I really believe that through proper human communication, as Susan very nicely mentioned in the vision section, we can manage to sit together with all stakeholders, create true teamwork, and together succeed. For that, I have expertise in organizational consultancy and executive coaching. Moving on into the Identify part of the value stream management implementation roadmap, in Deutsche Telekom, we are in the first stages of implementing and integrating value stream methodologies. Right now, we are mostly focused on the business outcome, like we mentioned, and also in the workshop that we did, like I totally resonated with the list answered here. So this is a difference from comparing to the US. Like every 4 months, the organizational stakeholders, the executive managers, focus only on the business outcome and don't care so much about sharpening the axe. So we have engaged into agile transformations, but not in a very successful and commonly agreed way. We have very different perspectives in such a big and large organization. I will present to you 2 different business cases where we implemented value stream methodologies, and from 2 different points of view. Both are from a business perspective, but in the first, we started mid-journey identifying the value stream, and in the second, we used it as a framework in order to organize the teams around it. So the first example is the Magenta Advantage. This is an initiative, a business initiative, similar to the T-Mobile Tuesdays that you have here from the T-Mobile US, where 3 different parties collaborate. We have the external vendors, partners that we approach, and we give them indirect access to our customer base so they can target their audience through personas. They create specified tailor-made offers for our end customers, which we then manage the way that they get these offers. And we increase our brand awareness and our customer experience. So 3 different parties, all win. One day, my chapter lead came and told me, Dennis, yesterday I had a talk with a Magenta Advantage leader, and I'm very confused. Like, he told me that they want a new role, a delivery manager, but they couldn't define the responsibilities. So what I fear, he said, is that there is a misalignment between the wish and the need. So what I want you to do is go there, talk with the leader, negotiate your position, support them in the growth and scale, and of course to achieve the results. So that's what I did. I went on, I interviewed the leader, I negotiated my position, I was assigned as an organizational strategy manager. This is a label. What is most importantly is that I gained the authorization to solve impediments and dependencies. And the first step there was to focus on delivering customer value. What I did next is to identify the need, so I interviewed relevant stakeholders. I surveyed all the people working in this initiative, and we commonly recognized gaps in our existing processes. We realized the need for an end-to-end accountable approach to deliver value. How to do that? Let's do it with value streams. So first of all, we utilized value streams as a framework to have common and focused discussions, as a common ground across cross-functional teams. That seems good, but that's a bit theoretical, isn't it? And my stakeholders were very eager for results. Like Keith mentioned it yesterday, I really liked it. Like prestigious consulting firm comes and says, like happened here in Magenta Advantage, here's what you should do, let's go and do it. And then we forgot about it. So we're in the mid-journey, so we needed to produce results. And we started with some quick wins, some spiral of success, and we solved various impediments, dependencies, and then we need to focus on a culture of continuous improvement. Either we try something and it works and we keep it, or we leave it and we learn something about it. But let's focus more on the identify part. And to identify the value stream, what we did is focusing on the problems first. And the problems were very common. As I said, we are in an immature level. Bottlenecks, dependencies, decision-making struggle, long meetings with low value. Even though it had only like 5 months as an initiative, people are really started to feel demotivated. They were inside the loop of a storming phase. The customer, directly or indirectly, pushed demands into every team member. Each team member had an opinion about anything, but at the same time didn't take accountability and responsibility for the decision. They waited for the leader to take the decision to say, go do that. So we lose much time, and the map leader, in order to manage all this, leads to micromanagement and strained himself too thin. At the end, I really like this quote, no one was managing the value, we were too busy managing the people. So what we did here, we sat down with the people, and commonly, through workshops, we identified 3 main streams. A strategy stream, which is the overall, a sales stream, and a delivery stream. In one page, what we did here is to demonstrate in which stage we are, in which stage are the problems. So we transitioned from a conflict which was personal to a conflict of what problem we currently have. Similar to the product roadmap that we take in a physical place for a Scrum team and we post it in a wall so that everyone can see it, our vision and where we are going, we used this in a digital tool representation for every start of the meeting, every agenda topic, so that we can pinpoint what are we talking about and if it's relevant and at what priority for the organization. Also, all these sublined items that you see here are linked digital tools that are the necessary parts for each responsible team member to deliver their own step, and everyone knows what to expect from another. Also, we assigned accountable people to every step, and in a nutshell, the benefits were pretty fast. We managed to succeed in business agility through efficient interactions, discover dependencies and bottlenecks fast. The first one that we saw was that 20 to 40 working days from getting an offer from an external partner to delivering delivering it, to the end customer, which in this phase, not the end customer, the customer, which was the national company. And this was a very, very interesting case because the salespeople said, I bring offers, but you don't like them. And when I bring them, they become irrelevant. 30 days after I brought a Christmas offer, and right now it's February. What can we do about it? And at the same time, the EU NATCO approval, as we say, was the gatekeeper, was the bad guy, the villain in the story. But that was not the case. Because when we sat down and interviewed the person who is giving the EU approval, told that, you know what, the national companies are very tired of our interactions. We give them offers that are not relevant to them. We don't respect the definition of done of what is a proper offer for them. So I don't want to waste their time because I would lose trust. So in this way, moving it to the foreground and bringing that the problem is the cycle time. We didn't use terminologies for reasons that you can imagine why. We managed to succeed in focusing on the real problems. We managed to be able to scale. We hired external partners for over 50 professionals who were in every national company and brought to us local and global brands for offers. We used that for a customer relationship management system. And we used it also for shift onboarding. We had salespeople who were coming and going like in an average 2 months period, and we want them to get accustomed fast. So through this point of view, they understand what are we doing, why are we doing it, and what do we expect out of them. So this is an example where we implemented, and I led the implementation of a value stream, not per se by the terminology, by though going into the mid-journey of the initiative and trying to show results, trying to be practical and bringing people together as a team. And that was the main benefit at the end. On my second example, things are a bit more simple. Here is the community of practice that I lead. And one day, the chapter leaders came and announced at the chapter, project management chapter, we want to delegate authority, accountability, leadership. So what we're going to do is we're going to support existing communities and create new ones. And in this way, you will be able to lead yourselves. So in a chapter of 80 experienced and expertise professionals that take roles like project manager, program manager, PMOs, Scrum Masters, and Agile coaches, I was assigned to take the community of practice project manager as a profession. And when I asked, again, first I interviewed my sponsors and I said, what do you want, what do you expect out of this community? They told me, we want project management value. We want to show to the organization that we can deliver more than processes, more than documentation that may or may not be used in the projects. We want to show that we are relevant and we can drive business decision making. Okay. Pretty simple, huh? No, they failed to do it for the last 3 years. But to do that, I started with a more drafted version of this. But I had in my mind that, okay, we want value, let's go with flows, and let's utilize value stream as a framework where I can use it as a foundation and then build on other methodologies. So I used new business development methodologies and design thinking, and in the first community meeting, I shared the people the vision, what we're going to do here. I shared them the way of working, and we're starting by identifying our customer. Who is our customer? What do they want? What do they feel? What do they hear? Empathy map, competitive analysis, what other communities do, what external institutes provide as project management expertise, other expertise, change management, value stream, agile, whatever, what is out there. So we can take inspiration out of it, but also create a unique selling proposition. After that, we figured out the how, the why, excuse me, the values, the how, and we ended with a what? A business backlog, improvement ideas of how to deliver values, and we brainstormed over than 15 initial ideas. Then, similar to an agile approach, we prioritize them based on estimating the value and estimating the effort. What I did differently that I would have done some years ago following traditional hierarchy or waterfall methodologies is that as I was delegated power and authority from my sponsor, I decided to delegate to the people myself. So for these prioritized ideas, I asked for volunteers. And we formed teams around them. These teams, once again, really experienced professionals in how to work and how to do things, were given total freedom about how they will work. The only thing that they need to align with us is about the values and about the value. Two different meanings. So we formed our product backlogs, and we had or had not product leaders. Some decided to go in a full democratic approach. They came back to the community meetings, they presented their ideas, we gave them feedback, they iterate, and at the end, with tools like communication, branding, and copywriting, we saw that we did that as one community. Eventually, we managed to create more than 7 project management products from a digital expert career path, from mapping future skills with the needs of Deutsche Telekom and the market, so that project managers in, again, high range of the role remain relevant. We created innovative trainings like reality trainings where professionals go and in a simulated environment try different things, go into some personality edges and get feedback in a safe environment, and that is very valuable in a context of a traditional organizations where people try to save face. To sum up, 2 different examples, one in the mid-journey to identify value streams, one at the start as a value stream framework. Both produce some different results, and we use these results to influence our stakeholders, our executive management, our board of directors, to show them that there is value in sharpening the axe. We need to build a machine that will produce sustainably business results. What I would like to add here as a last note is that I see another aspect in the individuality of value streams. Even if we don't have the authority to make changes, if we are frustrated about that people don't see what we do, even if it's too tiring to sit down with people that are conflicting, that maybe even toxic, at the end of the day, there is a self-assessment, a self-awareness, a self-reflective method and mindset, first of all, to ask ourselves, what do I do right now? Is it a task or is it integrated in a value stream? What I need to do right now, is it something that will move the business further, or is it something that isn't relevant? Is it in my zone of control to change things, or are there some things that I need to accept? Or even, and for me most importantly, what is in my zone of influence so that I can bring people together, build teamwork, build humanized approaches, and we commonly move towards the vision. Thank you very much. Dionysis will follow with a workshop around Identify. I will be here looking forward to hear what are your thoughts about how we implemented value streams and we identified them in the Deutsche Telekom. Value streams are everywhere. It's up to us to make them explicit and bringing them into the foreground.
Thank you, Dionysis. And we do have one question.
On your previous slide, you mentioned interaction efficiency. Could you explain that?
Here?
At business agility through efficient interactions.
Yes.
Efficient interactions. Could you explain?
Definitely. So we were in a situation where people pushed demands, conflicts, and problems into an agenda, a weekly agenda that we have, a weekly review meeting. And they were expecting by the leader to solve all the problems. When we started and to transition this agenda into starting from the value stream, meaning that at the end of the meeting, I presented the value stream and I said, okay, tell me the topics that you enter in the agenda in which part of the value stream apply. And we started doing it and repeat it. The second time, I saw that the delivery manager will say, you know what, Dennis, maybe this is not relevant. I can talk it afterwards with the product manager. We don't need it to bring it into a team table. So what we did is, from a 3-hour workshop that we had every week, and only 20% of the people were engaged into the discussion, and they needed to be here, we managed to effectively create one-to-one interactions. People pick up their phone, call into the Zoom, send an email, send a text, SMS, and not constantly escalating the issues, as I said before, to the leader, that I don't get what I want, I am stuck in the flow. Okay, they didn't say it this way, in a simpler way, but that's what we produce, that when you are stuck, you create a problem. You increase the time duration of delivering the value.
Then we will hand over to Julian.
Perfect. Thanks, Dennis. First up, Dennis, thank you so much. Thank you. Round of applause.